Hey, how you doing, people? It's day 4 of 2024. I'm doing very well, just relaxing and preparing to go to bed, but thought I would chat before doing that. Hey, look at that beautiful piece that a friend of mine gifted me. She brought it all the way here from Kenya. It's beautiful. I love it. It looks so realistic. Um, Today, I just wanted to chat about um, preparing. As we prepare ourselves, we should also be preparing our families, especially children and other dependents, for our departure from Earth. You know, I guess we've lost so many people lately. And just today, even I just lost a cousin, my father's brother's son. And I began to think about the families who are left behind. You know, the people who die, they're done. They're done. You know, they're with their maker and undergoing scrutiny or whatever. We don't know what goes on up there when they're done, but they're done. And the people that we should be concerned about are the ones left behind. Um, you know, the things surrounding death are quite dramatic sometimes. Like, people will do anything and everything to send off the person in a fitting way, as they say. However, not much attention is paid to what happens to the person's family after the funeral. And to be honest, and this is someone who has actually had close losses, including that of a husband. After the funeral, you're on your own, really. You're just left with you and your, in my case, kids. Figure out things, figure out what is what to do next. A few people hang around, and in this case, I have to pay tribute to my two moms, who are my close friends. They stayed with me for a week and gave me some extremely, very valuable advice on how to move on and move on quickly. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Not everyone has that kind of support. And you find yourself alone, coming to terms with the loss at the same time, trying to quickly settle the kids. Mine were young. I had no time to mourn. I had no time for myself. I had to move on and move on quickly, really, really quickly. I think many widows and widowers find themselves in that sort of situation. So, what do I wish had happened before the loss? What I wish had happened before the loss was some kind of document that stated the wish of the departed, that stated, that disclosed certain important information before they departed, so that we would have had a chance to even discuss it or have a conversation about it. That this is where this is who I owe, this is what you need to do, this is my wish for this and that, before the person departs, or at least be able to find it somewhere, that they actually did put it down. Why are we so afraid to do that? And as I say this, I have little bits of information scratched away and hidden away I haven't shared this with my kids, hidden away amongst my stuff. There are things that I write, especially when I'm flying, because, well, you never know. But then I forget that a lot of people don't die flying, they actually die on ground. So it's a question of taking the brave step of formalizing everything with a lawyer. And like my late father did, God bless his soul, he distributed his will before he died. He distributed it well in advance, like 6 months or so before he died, if not longer. And whilst he still had his full senses, and what he said to everyone was, here is my wish, this is how I have divided up my estate, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. If anyone has any question, please ask me now. And people did. There were those who had questions to ask. They did. He held numerous meetings with his brothers, his friends, whoever, he needed around the table, he had them there. So by the time he died, everybody was crystal clear as to what was to happen and what his wishes were. I think that was really good because it prepared the family. It left the family intact. No fights, no court case. Well, we did have a court case, but it didn't go far because he had clearly stated things. Actually, if he hadn't, that would have ended up really bad. But it was clearly stated. He had shared it way ahead with a lot of people, so there were testimonials. So that case was thrown out, thank goodness. So, but we need to be able to give our loved ones that sort of opportunity that they can move on with their lives when we are gone without drama, and that they'll have absolutely no doubt in their minds what our wishes were. And so it's time we became realistic and not wait to pay so much attention to a dead body, but and I'm talking about the living now, not the dead, because the dead, I don't think anyone ever says, I want my funeral to look like this or like that. It's people who decide they're going to go all the way, pull all stops, and make it as grandiose as possible. But I think it's okay to state your wish even about the funeral before you die, like what you want, what you don't want, and keeping in mind, centering your living loved ones, such that it's as less dramatic, as less traumatic as possible, and that they're able to move on once everything is done. I think once someone is dead, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you bury them or where or what, or I think we should reverse things and pay attention to the ones who are left behind. How are they doing? Are they in school? Have they suddenly dropped out of school because they don't have fees? Are they eating? Are they under shelter? Were they thrown out of their rental or their mortgage home because suddenly there's no money to sustain the life? I think that's where the focus should be, and the focus should start while we are still alive. Like, we should be asking ourselves, okay, I go tomorrow, what happens to my loved ones? What arrangement have I got in place for them, my dependents? And just be open and brave about it and face the fact that we are immortal. That we are mortal and we will die. And is it immortal or mortal? That anyway, we are human and we will die. Whether we like it or not, good to face the facts and start preparing for it. So, this is the series about, chatting about life. Let's talk about life. And so that's what I had to talk about. The end, how are we